lesson, students will be able to answer what happens to the food when you eat it. Where does the food go? How is it broken down? Do different foods take longer than other types of foods? To begin this lesson, students will research the digestive system. They can use the computers, internet, tablets. They can watch video, look in books. They need to research this so they understand the parts of the digestive system. My students will be using this model, and it is kind of like a puzzle. You can break away the pieces like the lungs, and it shows how the heart is underneath. And then you can see the esophagus running along, and it goes all the way down to the small and large intestines. Okay? Now, if you don't have a model like this, you can use pictures. That is great. Just any type of visual so the students can see it, because it just helps them put 2 and 2 together. All right, so let me get this back in here. All right, then after my students are able to do that, they will look at this diagram. They will fill it in with an exo marker, because labeling these parts and knowing where they are is very important in this lesson, so that when we're looking in our model and the food is traveling through it, they are able to know exactly where it is going. The students will learn that the digestive system breaks down food so that the body can use the food as nutrients. They'll learn that the digestive process begins in the mouth, that our saliva helps make the food mushy, and then it's able to travel down the esophagus, the long tube right here that goes into our stomach. And then this is what pushes the food down into the intestines. Okay, and then it can go to waste or go for energy for our body. All right, so during this lesson, our lemon juice will represent the acid in our stomach. This is what breaks down the food more in our stomach to allow it to travel to the intestines. Our water will represent our saliva in our mouth. We have crackers for food. We have a small mixing bowl and our spoon. All right, so let's get started. All right, so now that I'm ready, I'm going to turn it upright so everybody can see it. Okay, so as you can see, it's labeled, and it makes it very easy so everybody can follow along. All right, so our first step is we need to tie a little rubber band around the stomach area right here, because as we know, after we eat, it doesn't travel straight through the stomach to the intestines. It sits there and it is broken down more by our acids before it travels. So I'm tying this rubber band around here first. All right. And now that that is good and ready, let me double knot it. It's coming out there. All right. Now that it is good and ready. All right. So it is tied, so that our food and our liquid cannot go through to the small intestines. All right. So now let's get ready. So I'm going to get a cracker and I'm going to put it into my bowl. Okay. I'm going to mush it up a little bit with my spoon. And I'm going to add a little bit of water. This is to act like the saliva that is in our mouth. I'm going to mix it up good and just to make sure. Okay, once you get it mixed up and mushy, then we're going to put some down the esophagus and watch it travel, hopefully, to the stomach. Okay? Let's put a little bit more. Oopsies, I'm dropping it. It's okay, no big deal. Alright, so right now it's kind of a little trouble because it is plastic. So we can just push it down with my fork, with my spoon, you know. Alright, so now it's going in there. Let me blow it up a little bit. So now that it's on its way, we can add a little bit more. Okay, let me push the food down. It gets stuck since it is plastic, but this is a great model to show kids. There we go now. All right, so now I can go ahead and pour the rest of my mixture in here. All right, and as you can see, it's traveling its way down in there. It's going down. Okay, so now we're just going to let it sit there, and we're going to add a little bit more. Okay, so now we're going to add about 6 crackers. We're going to mush them up just like we did before. We just got to get the process going a little bit. Make sure our esophagus is open since it is a bag, you know. All right, so I'm going to add some more water. And I'm going to mush it up. All right, so then I'm going to add my mixture to my bag again. So I got my opening. Let me get a spoonful. And then I'm going to, well, this would be a lot easier if you had a partner. It would be great partner work. Students would be able to discuss during the process what they think is going to happen and why that would happen and stuff like that, which would be very engaging for the students. All right, so now that I'm getting my food down in there, I can keep adding some more to my bag. And this does take a little effort to get the food down there. It's not as easy as the directions say, so we're going to keep working with it. Try to get some on down in there. Turn my spoon upside down. Push it up. And we're getting it to go. Let me shake it just a little. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. So now we got some food in our stomach area. Okay? We got some food in there. I'm going to turn this over and add a little bit more. This just will help to have a reaction. All right. Now that the students can see how the food gets to our stomach through the esophagus and how it's mushy. This is how food looks when it gets to our stomach. It is mushy. It has saliva because that's how we eat. And that's what allows us to swallow the food. Now, this is when you can ask students, how does the food from our stomach get to our intestines? Because the food is still kind of big. It still needs to be broken down some more. So what do you think takes place to allow our bodies to do that? Okay, then we will add our stomach acid to the bag. Okay, and this is what is going to help break down the food even more. Okay, so I'm putting my stomach acid in here. It is going all the way down. Do I have enough? Let me see. And you just want to make sure you get a good amount in there so you can have a reaction so the students can see it. All right, now that I have my lemon juice, my stomach acids in my stomach along with my food, now we're going to tie another rubber band around the top. Okay? And at this process is when you have students predict over the next day or two, what do you think will happen to the food? What will change about the food? And then after the few days, you will undo this and watch the students will watch the food travel through the intestines. This is just a really great way for students to observe this hands-on and watch the food break down and things like that. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you.